The Universal Human Health Center, in combination with Uni Health, are proud to present the Light Center.
Inside the human body, disease does not begin as one isolated event. It begins inside an internal environment, an environment that has been under pressure for too long: stress, fear, poor sleep, processed food, sugar, inflammation, acidity, weak hydration, toxic load, low oxygen, emotional pressure, a nervous system that no longer knows how to rest. For years, the body may continue functioning. It wakes up, it works, it digests, it survives, it keeps going. But inside, something begins to change. The body starts losing order. The cells receive weaker signals. The mitochondria produce less energy. The cellular voltage drops. Repair becomes slower. Detoxification becomes harder. Inflammation becomes louder. The immune system becomes confused or exhausted. The body is still intelligent. It still wants to repair. It still wants to clean. It still wants to regulate. It still wants to return to balance. But it is no longer living inside the conditions that allow healing to happen. And this is where disease begins to find space. Cancer is not only a disease to be attacked, it is also a biological expression of a body whose internal environment has changed deeply, a body that has lived too long without the full conditions of health, a body that has lost energy, lost rhythm, lost oxygen, lost electrical strength, lost internal order. When we look only at the tumor, we see the visible result, but the deeper question is, what happened to the body that allowed this environment to exist? What happened to the water inside the body? What happened to the oxygen? What happened to the mitochondria? What happened to the cellular voltage? What happened to the nervous system? What happened to the immune system? What happened to the ability to detoxify, repair, regulate, and renew? This is the question that changes everything. Once cancer appears, most systems focus on the visible enemy, the tumor. The response becomes attack. Cut, burn, poison, kill. Chemotherapy belongs to this logic. It is not designed to restore health. It is designed to damage rapidly dividing cells. It tries to harm cancer cells. But the body also has healthy, rapidly dividing cells in the gut, in the blood, in the mouth, in the skin, in the hair, and in important parts of the immune system. So the body often pays a price. The treatment may be aimed at cancer cells, but it does not rebuild the internal environment where the cancer appeared. It does not restore mitochondrial energy. It does not restore cellular voltage. It does not calm the nervous system. It does not clean the terrain. It does not teach the body how to return to health. And when cancer remains after chemotherapy, the person can be left in an even harder place. The disease is still present, and the body is more depleted than before. This is why the deeper question cannot be avoided. What does the body need in order to become healthy again? The body is not only chemical, it is electrical, it is energetic, it is rhythmic, it is intelligent. Every cell needs energy to function. Every cell needs electrical potential to communicate. Every cell needs order to repair. The mitochondria are the energy centers of the cells. When mitochondria are strong, the body has power. Power to repair, power to detoxify, power to regulate, power to defend, power to rebuild. But when the mitochondria weaken, the body becomes tired at the deepest level. Not only tired in the muscles, tired in the cells. This is where light becomes essential. Light is not only something we see. Light carries information. Light carries rhythm. Light carries frequency. The body understands light. The cells respond to light. The nervous system responds to light. The mitochondria respond to light. The internal clock responds to light. The light technology creates a powerful external field of light, color, frequency, and scalar energy. A field that reflects the order of nature, the rhythm of sunlight, the intelligence of natural patterns, the energetic structure of a healthy human body. When the body is weak, inflamed, exhausted, and out of order, its internal field becomes weaker. The light field creates a stronger external signal: order, calm, balance, health. When the body stays inside this field for many hours, day and night, it receives that signal again and again. The nervous system can soften. The cells receive a clearer rhythm. The mitochondria receive support. Cellular energy can rise. The body begins to synchronize with a stronger field of health, not by force, by resonance. Food is not only calories. Food changes the terrain inside the body. Every meal becomes chemistry. Every ingredient becomes information. Every day of eating either supports the internal environment or adds more burden. Sugar creates instability. Processed food increases toxic load. Industrial oils increase inflammation. Heavy, acidic foods make the internal terrain more difficult for the cells, and cells do not live in theory. They live inside terrain, inside fluids, inside minerals, inside pH, inside inflammation, inside oxygen, inside the chemistry created every day by food. Keto alkaline nutrition changes that terrain. It lowers the sugar load, it reduces processed burden, it brings minerals, it supports a cleaner, more alkaline internal environment. It gives the body fuel without feeding the same chaos. This is not a diet, it is a change in the biological soil where the cells live. The body knows how to clean itself, but it needs time. When the body is constantly digesting, energy goes into processing food. Again and again, meal after meal, day after day. The body never receives enough silence to go deeper. Smart fasting creates that space, not extreme fasting, not punishment, not forcing the body, a gradual guided opening of time. Time without digestion, time for cleanup, time for repair, time for inner recycling. This is where autophagy begins. The body identifies damaged, old, weak, or unnecessary cellular material. It breaks it down, clears it, recycles it, uses it. The body begins to clean from within. Water is not a detail. The body is a water-based electrical system. Blood moves through water, lymph moves through water, cells communicate through water. Detoxification depends on water. Temperature depends on water. Digestion depends on water. Electrical communication depends on water. Living water brings a different kind of support. Water with antioxidant potential. Water that can carry negative ORP. Water that supports hydration, detoxification, fasting, cellular function, and internal balance. Oxidative stress is like internal rust. It damages cells. It increases inflammation. It accelerates exhaustion. It burdens the body's repair systems. Living water supports the body against that oxidative burden. Again and again throughout the day, the body receives water that supports life at the cellular level. The body is not a collection of separate symptoms. It is one connected system. Energy affects immunity. Digestion affects inflammation. Sleep affects repair. Pain affects the nervous system, stress affects hormones, nutrients affect cellular function, detoxification affects everything. Oncologic naturopathy looks at the person as a whole biological system, not random supplements, targeted support, what is weak, what is overactive, what is depleted, what is blocked, what needs calming, what needs strengthening, what needs cleansing, what needs rebuilding. Botanicals, minerals, natural compounds, nutrition, fasting, water, sleep, digestion, inflammation, pain, energy, daily progress, all aligned around one goal: to help the body rebuild its own capacity to heal. Consciousness is not separate from biology. The brain speaks to the immune system. The nervous system speaks to the hormones. Fear changes chemistry. Stress changes repair. Hope changes chemistry. Belief changes the state of the body. When a person lives every day inside the story of disease, the body often remains in survival. The mind repeats danger. The nervous system repeats fear. The chemistry of the body follows. But when a person begins to live inside a new inner image, an image of health, strength, return, life, the body receives a different message. Meditation, guided imagery, emotional regulation, inner work, deep alignment. These are not just relaxation techniques. They are ways of changing the inner environment. The person stops being only a patient fighting disease. They become an active participant in the return to health. The inner world becomes part of the healing field. Breath is one of the fastest ways to speak to the nervous system. Shallow breath tells the body, survive. Deep guided breath tells the body, repair. Breath changes oxygen. It changes heart rhythm. It changes carbon dioxide balance. It changes emotional state. It changes the nervous system. Through breath, the body can move from emergency into healing, from tension into release, from fear into presence, from survival into repair. The body also needs release. It needs pathways to let go. Detox baths support the skin, circulation, minerals, lymphatic flow, relaxation, and sleep. Therapeutic touch helps the body release tension and protective patterns. Nature softens the nervous system. Silence stops feeding the chemistry of fear, and time allows every layer to deepen, because the body does not change instantly. It changes through repetition, through rhythm, through staying long enough inside the right conditions. When we understand all of this, one truth becomes clear. The body does not return to health from one isolated action. It needs the conditions of health to return together: light, frequency, scalar field, living water, keto, alkaline nutrition, smart fasting, autophagy, oncologic naturopathy, consciousness work, breath, detox, therapeutic touch, nature, silence, time, all working in the same direction. all held continuously, day and night. This is the purpose of the light hall, a space where the body is placed inside a complete field of healing conditions, not for a moment, not as a single treatment, but long enough for the body to begin remembering what health feels like. Inside this field, the body receives what it has been missing: order, energy, hydration, oxygen, clean terrain, emotional safety, cellular rhythm, nervous system calm, and time. And when the body receives the conditions of health fully, continuously, and from every direction, its own intelligence can begin to return. It can begin to clean, repair, regulate, rebuild, restore order, and return to life. And when a person understands this, something changes. The journey is no longer only about fighting disease. It becomes a decision to enter the conditions of healing fully, continuously, day and night. This is where the journey begins.